am about halfway through Sophie's Choice. Let's get into it. First impressions. You guys, I've read a lot of different types of books before, and I consider myself to be pretty well read. I have a decent vocabulary. This book is something else. There are a lot of big words, let's call them, and usually I don't mind this, right? Like a little sprinkling here and there of a few words I don't know. This is great. I actually like this. I expand my vocabulary. I learn new words. This book is not that. This book takes it to another level. In a word, it is pretentious. Now, I mean, I might give the author a pass on this because the main character, the narrator, is an author, and he is very pretentious and egotistical. He has this kind of I'm better than everyone sort of attitude. So maybe this is just how Styron, the author, has chosen to stylize the book to honor that character. I've never read anything else by Styron, so I have actually no idea if he typically writes like this or not, but maybe he gets a pass because that's the character's point of view that he's writing from. It does feel a little bit like he's just adding words for the sake of it to like sound smart, and a lot of times they don't really add anything to the story, so it's just a lot of filler and a lot of really pretentious words to not really say much at all. But I'm getting past that. I'm learning lots of new things. Maybe I'll do another video on all of the new words I've learned, which will be fun. My second thing with the book. Ultimately, the backbone of the book is Sophie's story. She was the one who went through the Holocaust. She was at Auschwitz, and our narrator is telling Sophie's story. He's breaking up this story a lot, telling his own story in present time, and then talking about a moment where Sophie has told him little bits and pieces of her story, and she doesn't tell her story all at once. It kind of comes out over time, and he's doing the same thing. It's really interesting because there's a lot of moments in the book where he's like telling her story, but then he'll stop and say, "Oh, well, there's more to that story, but I'm gonna leave it there." Or I found out later that was a lie, and here's what actually, you'll learn what actually happened later, which I don't mind as a plot device, right? It keeps you interested. It keeps the reader interested in continuing and learning Sophie's story and finding out what happened. But he does it a lot. It's a lot. And it's kind of annoying me. Like, just get to the point. And maybe it wouldn't annoy me so bad, except for the fact that I don't like him. I don't like our narrator. And so when Sophie's story is getting kind of interwoven with his story, like he starts telling Sophie's story and then he stops and he starts telling, what happened to him, I'm just annoyed by it because he's not good. You guys, he is... I already mentioned he's kind of egotistical and pretentious as a writer, but I don't like the way he talks about women. I don't like his personality. I don't care much for his story. It all feels very like, woe is me, and my life is so miserable because I can't get any women, and how unfortunate I am that all of the women in my life are either ugly or already taken or not interested in me. And he just talks ad nauseum about how unlucky he is in his sex life, and that's basically his story. That's his plot. I don't care. So I'm finding it very difficult to get excited about the narrator's story. But I am interested in Sophie's story, even though it's being filtered through this guy that I don't really like. I do want to find out what happens to her and get some resolution on her story, so I am continuing on. I am trudging through. I have 8 chapters left. See you at the end.